From the golden age of Hollywood to the pop icons of the 2000s, a pattern repeats itself. Young women are discovered, molded, and controlled by older men, only to be discarded when they assert independence or no longer fit the manufactured image. The cost of defiance has always been high, and the consequences, personal, professional, psychological, immense. In the 1930s, Joan Crawford rose to MGM stardom. She was the studio's golden girl, meticulously groomed to embody glamour and discipline. But in 1938, she was branded box office poison, a public attempt to erase her from the industry when studio executives decided she was no longer profitable. Crawford fought back by leaving MGM, reinventing herself at Warner Brothers, and winning an Academy Award for Mildred Pierce. Yet even this triumph did not erase the system that had sought to discard her. Studios often pitted women against each other to maintain control. Crawford's infamous rivalry with Bette Davis was fueled less by personal animosity than by studio executives manipulating their images, forcing competition for publicity. This tactic of setting women against each other would echo for decades, from Hollywood soundstages to the Billboard charts. Marilyn Monroe faced similar exploitation. She was molded into a sexualized, marketable image by studio heads who profited from her every appearance. In 1955, Monroe attempted to reclaim agency by founding Marilyn Monroe Productions, seeking control over her roles and finances. Yet the system resisted. Directors, producers, and agents continued to dictate her opportunities, scrutinized her personal life, and minimized her creative ambitions. She later said, "An actress is not a machine, but they treat you like a machine." A money machine. Monroe's life revealed the personal cost of asserting independence in a system designed to profit off women's labor, beauty, and vulnerability. In France, Dalída's career was intertwined with Lucien Maurice, a powerful radio director, and her husband. When she requested a divorce, she faced near blacklisting from radio and professional retaliation. Simply demanding autonomy had immediate consequences for her career. Dalída had to prove she was self-made, that she didn't need the protection of Maurice or any other man. She rebuilt her career on her own terms, controlled her narrative, and continued performing despite systemic pressure to conform. But the scars of that struggle never fully left her. Cher's rise similarly illustrates male control. Discovered at 16 by Sonny Bono, he became her husband and business partner and exerted enormous control over their act and finances. In her memoir, she recounts an early, violent incident and says she was manhandled by Sonny, and that she warned him, telling him, "I will leave your ass," if he ever touched her like that again. Leaving Sonny meant starting over, in a system still attempting to define her through that partnership.
Yet Cher reinvented herself again and again, reclaiming her voice across music, television, and film. Her survival and reinvention stood as proof that women could outlast the systems that tried to reduce them. Mariah Carey endured the same pressures of male control. Married in her early 20s to Tommy Mottola, the powerful head of Sony Music, she had little autonomy over her sound, image, or career. She later described the marriage as suffocating and said, "There was no freedom for me as a human being." In her memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, she writes with painful clarity about the psychological toll. "In the beginning of our time together, I was walking on eggshells. Then it became a bed of nails, and then a minefield. I never knew when or what would make him blow, and the anxiety was relentless." After leaving him, Mariah redefined her narrative. With Butterfly and Rainbow, she took back ownership of her music, her body, and her image. But there was a price. She faced intense media scrutiny, especially during the commercial failure of Glitter in 2001. The press ridiculed her, labeled her crazy, and overshadowed her talent with a narrative of instability. Yet Carey fought back through her art. The emancipation of Mimi marked a return to the top on her own terms. Still, her abuser remained powerful and unpunished. The industry even manufactured a feud to diminish her, Mariah versus J-Lo, echoing the same tactics once used with Crawford and Davis. Britney Spears' story intensified these patterns. After her highly publicized 2007 breakdown, the media mocked her relentlessly, turning her suffering into entertainment. Tabloids called her unstable, while stripping her of autonomy under a conservatorship largely controlled by her father. For over a decade, the system allowed lawyers, corporations, and family members to profit from her work while controlling every aspect of her personal life. Spears herself said that she was not here to be anyone's slave. The conservatorship officially ended on November 12, 2021. But as Britney herself and extensive reporting showed, many of the people who controlled her life during that period, family members, managers, and conservators, have not been criminally prosecuted. The public record shows no criminal convictions for those individuals stemming from the conservatorship.
And the cycle continues. This month, the entertainment world introduced Tilly Norwood, an AI actress. The first major leap into artificial stardom wasn't a man, or even an adult woman, but a teenage girl. A figure who cannot age, cannot resist, cannot say no. Infinitely malleable, perfectly programmable. The pattern has never really gone away. It just shifts shape. The question is no longer simply how women survive the cycle of control, but whether the system will ever truly change.